guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about a couple of new skincare products that I have put in my program about 2 months ago, some of them even longer, and I'm really liking the results, so I wanted to share them with you. About 2 months ago, skinstore.com got in touch with me and asked if I would be willing to try a brand new product. The line is actually new to them. It is the Verso line, and the product is the Daily Glow with Retin 8 and vitamin C. So we're going to talk about that. I am doing azelaic acid. We're going to talk about this. I am doing Tranex, which is, well, a bunch of skin lightening things. We'll talk about that. And I've added a cleanser. And this is the Sanskrit Saponins from NIOD. We're going to talk about that. As usual, when I talk about skincare, I take notes. I don't clean my glasses, but I take notes. So we're going to get into it. I have been using the Tatcha oil for years, and I love it. I do, but sometimes I get a little bored and I want to try something else, or I want to add something else. And I thought maybe this would replace it, but it doesn't. This is not an oil. It's actually kind of a balm. You need the teeniest bit. This is what I usually do, that much. And then you add water to it and it emulsifies. But it is not for removing makeup, it's for cleaning skin. So this would be a second step at night, or for me, it's in the morning. Now, you know how NIOD is. They say the weirdest things on their website that just make zero sense. They're like, it's very powerful, don't use it every day. And then they say, you know, but you can use it as often as you want. Okay. I find it does something to my skin, and I can't really tell you what it is, but I feel like it might be slightly exfoliating me, even though there's nothing in here that is exfoliating. So let me read the ingredients to you. We have, oh, yeah, Latin. Saponins, mucurasi, fruit extract, stearic acid, arginine, which is a skin identical, and glycerin, which is a skin identical, it's a hydrator, hydrogenated castor oil, and then a bunch of things. You know what I mean, you guys? I can't pronounce this stuff. Desert date fruit extract, sorbic acid, sodium benzenate, etc. Let's talk about the ingredients, but I've got to put up my hair. I tried, you guys. I wanted to do my hair down, but no, it's not happening. The first ingredient, well, is water, of course, but the second one is Saponins, mucurasi. It's also called soapberry or washnut. And along with the PEG 40 hydrogenated castor oil, it's the cleansing agent. Arginine and glycerin, skin identicals, I told you, but arginine is a natural moisturizing factor and an amino acid that is one of the primary building blocks of keratin and skin collagen. Now, it's true, these are only going to be on your face for a few minutes, but it's all good stuff, and I just happen to really, really like it. And because I use so little, I think this will probably last me a year. So if you want to try a new cleanser that I can't explain to you why I love so much for a second cleanse or in the morning cleanse, this is really, really beautiful. And I think it's kind of a cult favorite, and I don't know why, and now I know why I don't know why, because it's very hard to explain. Most of the other products I'm going to talk about I use in my evening program, except for the Verso Daily Glow. So as I said, skinstore.com reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in giving this a try before it's released. And it just came out on their website, I think about a week ago, maybe a bit longer, but I had some other videos scheduled, so I wasn't able to come straight away and do this. But I love this. And it's another one where I'm not entirely sure what's going on. But let me tell you my research. Let us start with the ingredients. Water, dimethicone, okay. Niacinamide, pow, right up in the front. Glycerin, pow. Another humectant and a skin identical. Squalane is a skin identical. Silica, parky butter, glycol, cetyl alcohol, which is a non-drying alcohol. Thank you very much. jojoba esters, which is similar to a skin identical, tocopherol, retinol, retinoate, which is the retinol 8 that they're referring to on the label, and a bunch of emulsifiers and conditioners and that kind of stuff, and then the last ingredient is lactic acid. So my question was, when I got this, what is retin-8? Is that just something they named for themselves because it's retinol with an 8? Answer to that question is retin-8, as referred to in this product, is actual retinol retinoate, referred to as RR. So this is, I'm reading from my notes here, it is less well known but super interesting member of the retinoids. So tretinoin is retinoic acid. It is the queen bee, the mother of them all, the most active, the most research behind it, the most effective. It's what you want, but not everyone can do it. It can be sensitizing, it can cause peeling and redness, and some people just can't do it at all. And people like me, I'm kind of building up to having this in my program every single day, but that's the goal. And then there are retinols. Retinols are over the counter and they can be found in many products. They are far less effective than retinoic acid or tretinoin. They need to be converted in the skin twice before they're bioavailable or active and start to work the way Tret does. But it never actually works 100% in the same way, and it becomes much weaker with each conversion. Remember, 2 conversions for retinols. So retinol, retinoate, is a molecule that is created by attaching retinol, the weaker, that needs to be converted twice, to retinoic acid, the queen bee of it all. The attachment makes the molecule of retinoic acid more stable. Retinoic acid is not stable. It is sensitive to light. You should not wear it during the day. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be very active. So the combination of these 2 molecules make the retinoic acid more stable and more active. So we already went over that retinol has to be converted twice. Retinol, retinoate also has to be converted, but in the first step, our cells break up the molecule to become retinoic acid, the active, and retinol, meaning that it becomes active both after the first conversion step as well as later once the retinol factor in this new molecule is further broken down. So it's almost like something is time released, although it's not. The cool thing about this is you can wear it during the day. So if you're somebody like me who is late to the retin A game, I've been using retinols for many years, but not incredibly consistency because I couldn't find one that worked for me. I know that it needs to go on first, it's more important, but they were in heavier oils or in creams, and it just didn't make sense. Like, I'm going to miss all my other steps to get this thing on. And I've tried many of them. I tried 2 different from Paula's Choice. I've tried First Aid Beauty. I've tried the oils from The Ordinary. I've tried a million of them over the last 6 years, 7 years or so. And I finally found the Drunk Elephant worked for me. It made me feel like it was doing something right away. I think there's something in there that helps to slough off dead skin. And it was moisturizing. It didn't make me feel dry, but it wasn't an oil, and it just worked for me. And I found that, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years ago, and that was the first product I bought that I used all the time. And it was just last October that I got a prescription for Retin A, and I'm still not using it every day. What I love about this product is for latecomers like me, you can wear this during the day. Hallelujah. So while I'm still trying to get the Retin A into an everyday situation, I'm still not there, I'm going back and forth, I can have this during the day, so I always have some kind of active on my face, and hopefully that will help, I don't know, make up for lost time. That's what I'm thinking. But I love what it's doing to my skin, and I can't really explain what it is, but I love it. Now, this is a slightly glowy thing. What I do is I wash my face, I put on my vitamin C, I put on several essences for hydration, and I put on a very light milky moisturizer, and then I put this on. And I just use the littlest bit. I kind of don't want to show you because, you know, it doesn't last forever, right? Although I have plenty left. It looks like this, and a little goes a long way, as you can see, and it just leaves a little bit of a glow. And the glow is not from mica for safety reasons and for political reasons. But do you see how there's a little bit of a shine, a little bit of a reflective quality there? That's really lovely. Now for me, this sheen doesn't really matter because I am going to go on afterwards with a heavier moisturizer, and then I'm going to go on with my sunscreen. But if it fits your program, you'll get this lovely kind of radiance that is not Tin Man-y, and it's not greasy looking. It's very, very pretty. Let's talk about the vitamin C. You probably know vitamin C is also very, very unstable and best used in a serum form during the day. You can use it at night as well. There are benefits to using during the day and at night. This is not ascorbic acid, which is the most beneficial. The most research is behind it. Instead, this is sap. What is sap, you ask? I feel like Dr. Seuss. Sodium ascorbyl phosphate is the salt form of vitamin C, and it's much more stable, which is very important. It has the stability up to a pH of 7. However, because it's poorly absorbed, some of the effects of ascorbic acid cannot be achieved with sap. However, it does still have the antioxidant properties and might aid collagen boosting and help with acne and antimicrobial activity. Words. Some days. So what I'm getting is my regular vitamin C because I'm doing that with the serum. The absorption is better with that, but I'm still getting an extra boost of antioxidants with the vitamin C in the salt form from this. Now, let's go back to the RR again. In an in vivo study in 2010 shows that RR is significantly more effective than placebo or retinol, and RR also has a faster acting effect. Another study in test tubes, which is in vitro, concluded that RR increases the hyaluronic acid production more than any other retinoids, and it's also less irritating. So there's, I think, really interesting benefits in this. Less irritating, you can wear it during the day and then wear something else at night. Because it's the marriage of these two molecules, one is more readily available and the other one has to be converted twice. So it's almost like you have an always active effect while it's on your skin. They're not saying that, but my research is telling me that that's what's going on. So this product I really, really, really like. And it is the Verso Daily Glow with retinol 8 and vitamin C. Azelaic acid, why? Why was I into this? I was into this, honestly, you guys, because Angie uses Curology, which I know that people who follow me use Curology, and I think that's fantastic. I think it's really expensive. It's like $30 a month, where, you know, you can get it from your doctor for a lot less, and then you go on GoodRx and you get yourself a coupon, so it's even less and it lasts longer. I can understand why some people would use Curology. For instance, if you just are getting started with Retin A, they can make something, hi Lucy, even weaker than what you can get at the pharmacy. And they can make something stronger than what you get at the pharmacy if you've been using it for years. But I do think it's expensive. I think, you know, I'd rather spend my money elsewhere. I'd rather call the doctor and say, hi, would you write a script for me for this? But one thing that is in her formula is azelaic acid, and I've noticed that her skin seems to be a lot less red. Now, I could be wrong about this, you guys, because she does wear sunscreens that have tint to them, and that tint might be bringing down the redness, so I'm not 100% sure. But I have observed over the last year or more that her skin isn't as red as it used to be, and I was thinking it might be about this. So I got it. I got the small one first to see how it would go, and I really liked it, and I just got the large one. And again, it's one of those things where I don't know how or why or what. I mean, I do, and I'm going to read it to you, but I like what it's doing for me. So this is in a ton of dimethicone, and I put this on almost as my last step to kind of lock everything in, and then there's the active here, and then I'll go in with one more moisturizer, the natural moisturizing factors from The Ordinary, and that's what I do at night. So I do use this with my retin products, be it retinol or retin-A or retinaldehyde. And I feel like maybe I'm kind of getting the same mix. So once again, I'm going to read to you some of my notes. Yes, I have 4 pages of notes. Notes are important when you're talking about skincare. If you're not an expert and you don't have it memorized, I have no problem with notes. Azelaic acid is a so-called carboxylic acid. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how they do it. It's not an AHA or a BHA, but a distant relative to them. And they're all that same kind of acid. It can be found naturally in wheat, rye, and barley. It reminds me of a song from the 70s, from Chicago. Anyway, it has an antibacterial effect. It is anti-acne. I don't have acne. It regulates the production of skin cells, which is also anti-acne. It works on the cells that line hair follicles by changing the way they mature and proliferate, which decreases follicular plugging and helps prevent blackheads, whiteheads, and inflamed acne lesions. Again, that's not a problem for me, but if it is for you, that will help. It has an anti-inflammatory effect. Now that is something that could be anybody, whether you have acne, rosacea, or plain old irritation. It is anti-rosacea. Now I do not have rosacea, but I do have redness in my skin. I have broken capillaries. I can be sensitive. It's interesting, when I wake up, there's no redness in my skin at all. And then as I do my skincare program, it starts to get red. I think partly it's the blood coming to the surface, and partly it might be some of my products. But, you know, I also have red right here, and I saw years ago, Lisa Eldridge said, people who have redness right here, it's a hereditary kind of redness. It's not something that is a medical condition. So I think I have a combination of medical condition, broken capillaries, and hereditary condition. But this is supposed to help with that redness. However, in studies, it's 15% that is needed to help rosacea, and this is 10%. Am I wasting my time? I don't know. I'm going to use this entire bottle and see what happens, but as I said, I did buy the small one, and I completely finished it before I went on to the large one. So I think there's potential here for me. If you have rosacea, probably not. You can get this prescribed to you from your doctor, and that might be the way you want to go. Last but not least, azelaic acid also shows skin lightening properties. It seems to be especially effective for post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, acne, and melasma. Studies have compared 20% azelaic acid to 2% and 4% hydroquinone, which I believe we cannot buy anymore, and azelaic acid showed similar skin lightening properties, although it did not seem to be effective for age spots. So, yeah, I don't know. Now, I'm using it for redness, not for age spots, but enter Dearskin Tranex Dear Serum. I'll go over the ingredients first. Water, licorice. You guys, I don't know what's wrong with my mouth today. It's maybe my... Oh, literally, I think my tongue is swollen because last night I hardly ate anything all day. I think I just had a can of tuna, and I was starving at 11. Yeah, I should have gone to bed, but no, I had to eat. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go to In-N-Out. Why go to McDonald's? And the in and out, the line at in and out at 11 o'clock at night was into the street. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to sit in my car at 11 o'clock at night for half an hour to get a hamburger. So I went to Burger King and I got an Impossible Burger and onion rings, which I love. So it's possible that my tongue is actually swollen today, making speaking a little difficult. But this is what we have. Water, licorice extract, which is soothing and brightening. Mulberry extract, which is a humectant. Orchid extract, I don't know what that is. L-ascorbic acid, which, interesting. Tranexamic acid, which is what this is named for, which is brightening glycolic acid, which helps to break away old dead skin so your new, bright, young skin can come to the forefront. Niacinamide, which is a cell communicator, and a humectant and brightening, and kojic acid, which is brightening, and glycerin, which of course is skin identical, and a humectant, and jojoba oil, sodium hyaluronate, tocopherol acetate, all good things. I don't put this on every day because when I started using it, I was also using something else, which I stopped using, but I felt like it was drying my skin, but I could have been the other thing and not this. But the truth is, I feel like I have a lot going on at night now, so I am, not every night, but oftentimes I am doing my copper peptide, and I'll let that be on for a little while. Then I'll go in with coenzyme Q10 and niacinamide, and then I'll go on with a light moisturizer, and then I will go on with my Retin A or my retinol, and then I'll go on with this, and I feel like that's a lot, but a couple of times a week, maybe 3 times a week, I will put this in the mix as well. And hopefully I'll get to that point where I can do all of it all the time, but I really want to avoid irritation, and so far I've been successful at avoiding irritation, and I'm really liking what my skin is looking like. So that wraps up 4 things that I have added. My goodness, you guys, it just occurred to me that I think my tongue is literally swollen today, which is why I'm having a hard time forming some words, because I ate an enormous amount of salt last night, quite late, and yeah, I apologize for that. But hopefully I'll be able to edit it together and you won't even notice. It's not likely, but it's very possible. So you guys, I wanted to thank skinstore.com for sending me this lovely product. I will certainly be buying another one when I've finished with it, but if you just use a little bit like I have, and believe me, there were times when I was really using too much, I think this will last you probably about 4 months, because I think I've had it for about 2 months. And I appreciate them thinking of me and sending this over so I can take a peek at it before it comes out and let you know what my thoughts are. And then we have this, which I will link below. Of course, you can get it on Amazon. This, you can also get on Amazon and at Sephora. And the NIOD. And I will link this as well. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you have any questions, I'm not an expert, you guys, but this video took me hours and hours and hours to put together. It seems like so simple, but the notes I had before I cut them down were like 8 pages, because I wanted to not just break down the product and understand the product, but certain ingredients I really wanted to look into, like, what is this thing called retinol 8? I have no idea. Now I know. Now I've looked into it. You know what I mean? I wanted to give you as much information as possible, but hopefully not getting too terribly technical. But I'm one of those people where I kind of want to know. You know, and once you know, no one can take that away from you, and you can make better decisions. You guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe, be smart, and I'm wishing you good health.